Please turn on your screens if you're a screen on kid. All right, so it is Monday, October 24th. It is math time. And today you have math assignment 4.02, the lesson and the quiz. And you also need to do your dream box. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here today. What I'd actually really like you to do is to go to breakout rooms and work on those two things. So math 4.02 and the quiz 4.02 and then the dream box lesson. And because everybody needs to do their dream box on Monday anyway. If you get done with all of those things, which I didn't see anybody done with all of that, but if you get done with all of those things, I do have a math game that is the same as the lesson today. So the lesson today is all about place value. And I want to show you something I'd like some of you to do. You can do it using Florida Virtual, or you can just use it during the computer screen. So I was working with Christian last week, and we found that when you're working on place value, when you're working on place value, it really helps to bring up a place value chart. So you just type in place value, you go to images, and you bring up a place value chart that has the hundredths and the thousandths and all of that. So this is a really important thing to have, like a decimal place value chart. And then as you're doing lesson 4.02, sorry, don't mean to show you grades. There we go. So we're on module 4.02 today, and it's all about comparing numbers to say which one's bigger. In order to compare decimal numbers, you need to be paying really close attention to place value, because the truth is, it's no longer like in, well, it's the same as in place value when you're looking at whole numbers. You know that a 9 in the ones place is not as big as a 1 in the tens place, because 9 ones, you have to have one more to add up to 110, right? So you really have to think about what you're talking about. As you get down here, it's the same thing. The numbers on the left are 10 times bigger than the numbers on the right. So if you have a 0.09, that's still smaller than a 0.1. Does that make sense? Does anybody have a question about that? So you've really got to pay attention when you're comparing numbers. You really have to pay, oops, you're not going to be able to see this. You're really going to have to pay attention to your place value, because even though this 0.1 looks tiny and this 0.09 looks like a whole lot, it could be 99999. This is still a lot smaller than this. Think about those pieces of cake we talked about. This is a piece of cake where you cut a cake into 10 pieces. This is 9 little pieces of one of those pieces of cake. So if I cut this into 10 pieces, so now I have 100th of a piece of cake cut into 100 pieces. This is 9 of those hundredths. That's not as much as 1/10 of the cake, right? So be very careful, because with decimals, even though this looks like a huge number, it looks like 999, we're talking about thousandths here and, and 100,000ths. So we're talking about tiny, tiny, tiny little crumbs of cake, whereas this is a big piece of cake, okay? So be careful on your decimal comparisons. You've got to look at place value. You've got to look at place value. You've got to look at place value. I'm not going to go through the lesson today. I think it's really well written and you can do it on your own, but I am going to set up breakout rooms. I'd like you to go into the breakout rooms, work on lesson 4.02, and then do quiz 4.02, and then do a dream box lesson. I'm going to leave you in there for about 30 minutes. And then remember that at 11 o'clock, we have the reading cats coming back to do reading with me. Mila, question. No, you went silent. I think that your internet.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask if we could do partners, but probably not.
Actually, I'm okay with partners on this one as long as you're doing your math. So I think
yay!
So I like you working with partners. In school, we would let you work with partners. So I think that's fine. If there's anybody who would like a partner, please stay in the main room. Don't go to your breakout room yet, and I'll put you with a partner. Okay. So I'm going to open the rooms. Don't go if you want a partner. Other questions? Oh, Mila, your hand is still up. So I'm guessing Evie and Mila want to be partners. Is that right, Evie?
Yeah.
Okay.
What my Mickey goat pumpkin?
What?
My Mickey pumpkin.
Oh. Okay. I think you're in room 1. Is that right, Mila? Evie? Yeah. Okay. Who else would like a partner? Christian, you want a partner? Okay. Who wants to be partners with Christian today? Maddie or Kainoa or Sasha or
I can.
okay. Is that okay, Christian?
Yes, it is okay.
Okay. If you find it's not working for you guys, you can always split up again. So Christian's in room 13. I'll move you there, Kainoa. There you go. Amoy, did you want a partner too? Or are you gone? Amoy seems to be gone. If anybody has questions, come back to the main room.